I'm happy.
This is the story
Because I'm free.
about a man who lost everything. By the time I would come to know Mr. Timmy, he was an old man. I'm here for a job. Move your things into that room at the end of the hall.
Thank you so much, sir.
Don't be afraid of him. He doesn't bite. He's too much fun. Maybe there's something I'm not doing right. How dare you? I don't know why he gets upset all the time. Whatever you do, do not talk about family.
Elijah has dedicated his life to you. Why won't you help him?
Take me outside now. Okay, sir. Go to this boy. I never knew his family, but I didn't think you needed to know someone's pain to share it. I've lived my life. It's time to live yours.
Hello viewers, my name is Just Kudi and this is Urban TV Entertainment. We'll give you the best of the best movie review. And as always, today we've come back with another juicy one. Today is so in my heart because I love this movie so much. But you know, we always go on an amazing break. And when we are back, I'll be joined with my co-host and then we can dive into the movie. Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Just Kudi and she is
Oluwatobola
Ojo. I love that so much. And today's movie is, take a deep breath. Are you ready? Breath of life. I mean, you have to take a deep breath to really dive into this particular movie. I'm not someone that is hard to please though, but for movie it takes, you know, a little bit extra. And this movie, Breath of Life.
Say it again.
Breath of Life. It ticked my boxes. I mean, I was in hell. You can't see me. Everybody I met, have you seen Breath of Life? No, I don't know what to do. I feel like not give it. I feel like not give the movie enough hype.
They deserve their flowers.
No, that movie was dope. For me,
100.
a point. About the storyline, I'm going to reserve myself because me, I brought a plate to talk about it. What do you think about the storyline of Breath of Life?
Storyline was exceptional.
That's the word, big Oyinbo.
I'm telling you, because the intro from me, the storytelling was just it.
It keys you in.
Was just attracting you,
like okay.
I want to hear the story.
Okay.
You say like
okay.
The attractiveness of the intro, the storytelling was amazing.
On point.
Was what I did not really expect, and they gave us what we don't expect. You know what I don't expect. The storytelling was very catching. I love the story. The story it's a thoughtful one, an intentional one at that. I like the fact that it's talking about a bit of religion and your faith as human. Sometimes when things are happening and it can shake your faith as human sometimes. When you have God, you have all things. The thing is it's very words fails me to quantify the storyline. But one thing I want to see is that to the producer, to the director of the movie, thumbs up to you. You guys hold it awesomely well.
Yeah.
You deserve flowers. Take your flowers.
You can see that I'm blushing. I'm blushing because before I start talking about the storyline, please, can you send a bottle of trophy to the colorist of that movie? I mean, the color was popping. Jerry, no, I don't know you, Mr. Jerry, but you are goated. Like, it brought the movie to life. When I say this movie ticked every part of my box, from the storyline to the casting to the cinematography to the directing of the movie to the intro, the coloring, I mean, the ending itself, it is sweet my belly. I mean, the storyline was so good. Like she said, the intro, that storytelling, it tells you that, hello, my dear, grab yourself a popcorn and a bottle of drink because you're about to go on a journey into the wonderland. I mean, the story, it brings about the story of the colonial era, you know, when the Africans are just coming into democracy, but we still have the colonials in between us. The colonial eras, people's will. We know that when we're about to get colonized, they brought religion. So the religion then was still a very, very big part of the society. And then seeing the religion and the person that wants to make money, which was the chief, Anna's father in the story, and then the love of two people
coming together.
I mean, I don't, no shades, but love. There's still love in hopeless places because Elijah was so broke. He has asthma. I'm going to talk about that asthma later because the king of that asthma.
So it's not asthma.
Actually, it was lung disease.
But that was asthma.
But every time he wants to talk about something serious, like when he first met Mr. Timmy and he was going to introduce himself, and the first thing he brought out was his inhaler. Or when he wanted to talk to Anna at the church, and the first thing he brought out was his inhaler. Or when he wanted to beg Mr. Timmy for something, and the first thing he brought out was his inhaler. I mean, like every time Mr. Timmy sees him gassing, oh yeah, come on, let's have it. Just tell me what you want. You do. I can't kill you. Just say it. So I love the storyline. Like I said, it brought in the colonial era. It brought in love of the young. I mean, love happened in hopeless places because Timmy was pretty broke. Anna's father was like the richest man in the city, and they fell in love. And Mr. Timmy, whatever happened to that man, I don't pray for it to happen to anybody. You know how they tell you, I know how you feel. You can never know how it feels. You can never
see your daughter and your wife
being burnt alive right in front of you. And you know, Mr. Timmy in the storyline is a very, very intelligent man. I mean, it was top of his class in Harvard. And then he was the first person to be accepted into the chapel, the Christian community, and he's a black man. He was also invited by the Queen at that time to pray with her for the new year. I mean, he has a lot of honorary degrees and somebody that is full into combat and trust God. One thing that I also noticed in that, you know, that we cannot determine the ways of the Lord, but that movie tells us that when you are doing good or when you are doing bad, the question is, do not judge people because you don't know if the good that you are doing God safe, you are meant to do it, because that was the predicament of his lifestyle. So the story was about a young man, like I said, he's an honorary man, and then he moved to a town after he accepted the colonial era. So he got there, had the wife, had a kid, and he started a chapel. And there was a notorious person in the area that kills, I've forgotten his name, forgive my manners, that is a very, very notorious, he's a thug. And he came to the area and killed one man because that man was against the colonial people, not knowing that the thug was set up by the colonials, by the whites, to be their sharpshooter, their gun person.
Yes.
So when this person died, they were looking for somebody to stand in place, to stand as a witness so that this person can be brought to trial. People did not want to talk because they know how dreadful that guy can be. But Mr. Timmy, the pastor, took it upon himself as a man of God. That's why I said that. Before you do anything good that you think is good, or before you judge somebody that is doing bad, the question is,
no judge.
Do you think it is good to God what you think you are doing that is good? Or do you think it is good to God the fact that you are judging somebody that is living a lifestyle or that is doing something bad according to you because he decided to stand up for the community as a pastor, as a man of faith, and then after he did that, the man was not convicted. He was set free because he works with the whites. His wife asked him one thing. He said, do you have a gun? He said, why have a gun when you have God? That part was heavy, and I think that was what shook his belief as a Christian. How do you see the storyline?
The storyline was a bit emotional because starting from when he wanted to, when he came to the town and build a church, wanted to start a good life in the town and also help people because he had a lot of assets and also he was a rich man. He was a rich man, and after the scene of the thug killing someone, him standing as a witness in the court with the boldness. But I feel the thing is that I think Mr. Timi himself is a man of faith. But after the incident of his wife being killed and child being killed, that really shook his faith.
Yes.
So I was saying that we know what is going to shake our faith, because
Amen.
because it's not easy.
Like I said,
And I think the story has like a bit of a two-story part, because we have the part of Mr. Timi, and also we have another love story of Elijah.
There's two story like that. Yes. There was Mr. Timi's story, his love, his achievements, and there was Elijah, the young Timi, the son that Mr. Timi never thought he wanted, and the father that he never think he found in Mr. Timi. So his whole love story too started after Mr. Timi. One shocking part. You can imagine the kind of thing that she said. Do not pray that we don't say anything that's going to shake our faith, because Mr. Timi's faith was so shaken that he killed someone. Yes. Like he woke up, he was lying there where his wife was killed for 9 days. Yes. And when he stood up, he just went ahead and killed the guy. Yes. And he tried to see, oh my God, I don't know how you see God, but there is God, because this man tried to kill himself in different ways. You can imagine shooting a gun, my body of God. Shooting a gun at yourself, but the gun did not enter, and you shoot at the wall. And it goes straight into the wall. And this thing also made him believe that God is wicked. God forgive me. According to him and the storyline, that God is wicked, and that's why he shut himself out of the world, closed the church. Until when Elijah, my asthma boy, came back. And when he came, he brought, they said that people will always say something that you're going to meet a lot of people in your life. Yes. That will be the best person you've ever met in your life. Sure. That you never even think that you can still have that kind of friendship or experience in your life. And that is what Elijah did not just bring to Mr. Timi. He brought it to the people of the town. He brought it to Anna. He brought it to himself, because as a broke guy, he just wanted to have a normal life, open a parish. But he got there. He found love. He found the Father. He found a community. Yeah. He found life.
Found everything
in one space.
He found everything in the community. I like the fact that Elijah came in as a light to the man. Yeah. Yes, because it really changed him. Even though it was very, very tough for him to change him. Remember the first when he came, and then he was going to do an omelette. He did not get the egg on time. Like I lost count.
He cooked. I think he said he made 60-something eggs.
For him to get the last
in 3 hours. But Mr. Timi, and you go brusha. You are wicked.
If you really want to give more spoilers, this is what it's showing on Prime Video.
She don't want me to.
You have not seen Breath of Life, please go and watch it.
It's streaming on Prime TV. That movie for me.
Go and watch it.
I don't know.
And let's know how you feel.
I don't know. If you don't feel like I'm feeling.
So what was your favorite thing?
I cannot count.
Today,
I'm the one that brought bag of favorite scenes. Where should I start from? Was it when he first saw Anna at the church, or at the hospital, Kinaha, and then he grabbed out his inhaler, or when Mr. Timi's glass broke, and then the newspaper got drenched, that he had to iron them, and he started reading to Mr. Timi, or when they first had their food, the first food on the dining together, or when they watched the story about his wife, the memories that he kept of his wife and his child together, or when Elijah went to Anna's father's house, or when Elijah fell and died. The one that I liked the most, let me go there, was when Anna decided to run away from home and then come and see Elijah and decided to do the do. Can you imagine? They were about to get done. Anna was already halfway naked, and guess what happened to Timi? Timi, a man of God, virgin, thin woman in flesh and bone, had a seizure. How can you have a seizure at that time? How? And then they were looking for his inhaler, and they couldn't find the inhaler until when they came to the hospital, and that's when they discovered that it wasn't just an asthma, it was a lung. Or when Mr. Timi was looking for the best donor for him, or when he started himself, had to sacrifice himself.
That was so emotional. Like, how would you just, as you as humans?
You know, someone that is not even your blood. And I like when he went to the church because he felt like, okay, God, I think my time is right. I want to do good for this child.
One thing I really, really deducted from the movie is that whenever we are alive, whatever we are doing, we are not just doing it for our own self. There is someone out there
That's going to
that
benefit.
God is actually making you to still stay alive for.
Yeah, that's going to benefit from
yes,
what's
exactly.
going on.
Because I could count how many times that the man accepted murder.
And he didn't die. But when it was time, he said something to God. He said, now I know the reason why he kept me.
God's time is beautiful.
He said, well, now I know. So as you can see why Portable is really breaking boundaries and they don't know whether people are they making it. So when I tell you that wait for God's time, it's not just about death. It goes beyond just death. There is growth, there is marriage, there is child. You see people giving testimony that it felt right when God thinks that it is right, and his death was honorable when God feels that it was right for him to die. That movie, this movie, I can't believe, honestly, I'm telling you the fact, I am short of words because I have so many things to say about this movie so that you can know how much I love it. The cinematography. One thing when I was telling people about it that I love about the movie is, you know, when something is chaotic, but it keeps your mind calm.
Everything looks real.
Like they were fighting. There was a killing. There was when he went to kill that man. There was a war, but everything was it was following one sequence.
Well detailed.
Like you can feel the pain, but you are still calm and wondering, okay,
of life.
what's going to happen? So for me, the sequence wasn't sequencing. Let me use the Gen Z word. The sequence was sequencing, and the moving was giving. It was a purr, and that was some period. For me, for the first time, the fastest time,
I give it 10.
I'm gonna give it a 10. Over 10 minus nothing was everything. That movie is so good. You need to see Breath of. If you have not seen it,
go and see it.
you need to see Breath of Life.
Prime Video.
See Breath of Life, and when you do, please make sure. I don't want to talk about much, but make sure that you come back and also give your testimony. Like the Lord has touched your life. Say there are a lot of lessons that you can learn from the movie. If you allow yourself to really resonate into the movie, you can check your faith. You can see where your faith stands as a Christian or as a believer. Let me not use Christianity. As a believer, when you watch this movie, it helps you to understand why things happen to you, why God do what He does to you. So watch this movie and please come back and give me, leave Toby. Give me your comments. Give me your comment. I want to see if you feel what I'm feeling, the fire in me. Honestly, I love it so much. So who is your best cast in the movie?
Chimezie Imo. No.
Elijah.
That guy. Chimezie Imo gave it all. He brought his hair game, his body and soul, his spirit and blood. No.
Well, I've always loved Anna Genoveva Uneh from the days of audition. I've always loved Genoveva, but today my two best casts are the old Timmy and Elijah.
I have another cast. I like Sam Dede, Anna's dad. He
has action, but for Elijah and for Mr. Timmy, I mean, their character build up was like, okay, from calm to madness to anger to calm to anger to emotion to feelings, and then back to calmness. To bango in your toe. Eja don, Maggie don, This movie is so good. It was so good.
It was just.
Please do watch it and come back and tell us.
Yes.
As always, I'm always running after something. Me, I have to go. You can stay with.
We have
Toby.
to go before we go.
Toby likes to stay with you guys. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be the bad egg. But as always, before we go, we like to give accolade to Go To Hotel for always supporting us by giving us
Accommodating
this space,
Yes.
so we can give you the best of the juiciest of the movies.
Yeah.
And it's always make sure to like, to subscribe. Look at that button, because if you not give us ginger, how are we gonna come back, fam? So make sure you subscribe, you like, and leave a comment, and also tell a friend to tell a friend about Urban TV Entertainment. Bye, people. Mwah.